Hi everyone, George here, and today we're going to look at how you can use ElevenLabs, the most advanced and versatile AI speech platform out there, step by step. In this full tutorial, I'll show you how to sign up for free, use text-to-speech to create lifelike voices, design your own custom voices, even clone your own voice, and use the amazing voice changer. We'll also generate some AI sound effects, create an audiobook in the studio with multiple voices, dub a video into another language, chat with a conversational AI agent, and finally, transcribe audio with speech to text. By the end of this video, you'll be comfortable using every major feature that ElevenLabs offers. Before we dive in, if you want to try ElevenLabs for yourself, there's a link in the description where you can sign up for free. It supports the channel, costs you nothing extra, and it gives you access to the same tools I'm about to show you. So let's get started. Once you're on this page, click the Try for Free button. After you fill out the sign up form, you will arrive at the main dashboard. Now, before we dive in, a quick note, the free plan gives you 10,000 credits every month. That's about 10 minutes of generated speech, which is plenty to experiment with. You can always upgrade if you need more or want advanced features. Now, let's explore the features one by one. Text-to-speech, generating AI voice from text. Let's start with a quick tour of this interface. On the left, you have a menu with all the tools: home, voices, text-to-speech, voice changer, sound effects, etc. In the center is the text-to-speech workspace. In the text-to-speech panel, you'll see a big text box where you can type or paste any text you want the AI to read out loud. On the right, there's a drop-down to select the voice that will speak and a model selection. By default, ElevenLabs might have a voice selected for you. For example, a voice named Rachel. There are several pre-made voices you can choose from, both male and female, and even voices in different languages or accents. I'll stick with the default voice for now. The model is set to ElevenLabs Multilingual V2, which basically means the AI will handle multiple languages and give very natural results. Now, below the voice selector, you'll find settings sliders that let you fine-tune how the voice sounds. These are handy to customize the delivery. The settings include voice speed. This controls how fast or slow the voice speaks. Stability. This slider adjusts how consistent the voice tone is. Higher stability makes the voice more steady and consistent between sentences, less random variation. Lower stability can introduce more natural quirks or intonation changes. Similarity enhancements, sometimes just labeled similarity. This helps the voice maintain its core sound, especially useful if you created a custom voice. Turning it up tries to keep the voice as close as possible to the original voice's characteristics, while turning it down might allow more clarity or different inflections. Style exaggeration. This makes the voice more expressive. If you increase it, the voice might exaggerate its speaking style, adding more emotion or character, like making a happy sentence extra cheerful or a sad sentence more dramatic. At 0%, the delivery is more neutral. At higher values, it becomes more theatrical. Speaker boost. This option amplifies the presence of the voice. It can make the voice sound stronger, louder, or more resonant, which is useful if the default voice sounds a bit quiet or if you want it to stand out over background music. You can play with these settings to get the voice output just the way you like. For example, if the voice is speaking too quickly, drag the speed slider to the left to slow it down. Or if the voice sounds a bit too robotically consistent, you might lower the stability so it has more human-like variation. A lot of this is trial and error. You can always click Reset Values to go back to defaults if needed. Alright, let's try generating some speech. I'll type a sample sentence into the text box. For instance, welcome to your new productivity hub. With just a few clicks, you can organize tasks, manage your calendar, and streamline your workflow. Let's get started and make the most of your time. Once you have your text ready, click the Generate Speech button. In just a moment, the AI generates the audio. You'll see a playback bar appear with the generated audio. Let's listen to it.
Welcome to your new productivity hub. With just a few clicks, you can organize tasks, manage your calendar, and streamline your workflow. Let's get started and make the most of your time.
As you can hear, that particular voice sounds a bit weird, but pretty lifelike. The pronunciation and tone are excellent, and that's using just the default settings. If you weren't happy with something, you could tweak those sliders and generate again until it sounds right to you. A few other handy things on this page. There's a history section where your recent generations are kept, so you can replay or download them. If you want to save the audio to your computer, click on the download icon, a down arrow next to the clip. Click that and it will save the speech as an audio file, which you can use in your projects. All right, that covers the basics of text-to-speech. You type text, choose a voice, adjust settings, and generate. Now, let's move on to creating our own custom voices. Creating and using custom voices. ElevenLabs comes with a set of voices, but you can also create custom voices that are unique. This is great if you want a specific style of voice for your projects, say a narrator with a certain accent, or even if you want to replicate a particular style that isn't in the defaults. There are a couple of ways to create custom voices. First, I'll show you voice design, where you create a new AI voice just by describing it, and in the next section, we'll do voice cloning, which uses a real voice sample, but for now, let's design one from scratch. To create a custom voice, go to the Voices section. Here, you'll see any voices you've created or cloned. To add a new one, click the Add a New Voice button. Now we're in the Voice Lab, where we can design our new voice. Click on the first option, Voice Design. The first thing to do is describe the voice you want. There's a text field for a prompt or description. This is where you get creative. Think about the characteristics of the voice: age, gender, accent, style, even mood. I'm going for a deep, gravely New York accent, tough and world-weary, often cynical. That's the kind of vibe I want the AI to capture. Once you've written your prompt, add a short preview line that fits the character. In this case, I'm using, "I've been walking these streets longer than you can imagine, kid. There's nothing you can say or do that surprised me anymore." Now, click Generate Voice, and the system will create a custom voice based on your description and preview. Once it's ready, you'll get to hear it right away. If it doesn't sound quite right, you can always go back, tweak the prompt, or try a different tone. Great. Now, to use this newly generated voice, simply click on Use button. Let's generate the same text with our new voice.
Welcome to your new productivity hub. With just a few clicks, you can organize tasks, manage your calendar, and streamline your workflow. Let's get started and make the most of your time.
And there it is, our brand new custom voice reading the text. It really has that New Yorker vibe I was aiming for. Very cool. So, that's voice design. Describe a voice and generate it. Keep in mind, this feature is available even on the free plan, so you can create a few voices of your own to play with. Now, another way to create a custom voice is by cloning a real voice. For example, cloning your own voice so the AI sounds like you. This is called instant voice cloning on ElevenLabs. It requires a paid plan, the starter or above. So let's take a look at how it works. Instant voice cloning. To clone a voice, go back into the Voices section. Click Add New Voice. Then click on the second option, Instant Voice Cloning. Click that and it will open the cloning interface. The interface will prompt you to record or upload a sample of the voice you want to clone. Since it's instant, it's designed to work with a short 10-second sample. You'll see some tips on the screen for recording. Avoid noisy environments, check your microphone quality, speak clearly, and use a consistent distance from the mic. These are all to ensure the audio sample is clean for the best cloning results. I'm going to record my voice directly as a sample. I'll click the record button and say a sentence or two. Make sure to allow your browser to use the microphone if it asks. All right, let's record something. Once you stop the recording, you will get the option to play it back or re-record it if you need to. My sample sounds okay, so I'll proceed. Now, I click Next with this sample. Once your audio is uploaded, you'll fill out the voice info. Give it a name, add a language and accent if needed, and write a short description that captures the tone or personality of the voice. After that, check the box to confirm you have the rights to the audio, then click Save Voice. The system will now process everything, and just like that, your new voice clone is ready to use. From here, you'll get a few ways to try it out. You can generate speech with text-to-speech, have a conversation with your clone, or even narrate a story using the Studio tool. Now, moment of truth. Let's test the clone voice out in the text-to-speech tool. I'll go back to text-to-speech, select my new clone voice from the drop-down, and generate the same text with my clone voice.
Welcome to your new productivity hub. With just a few clicks, you can organize tasks, manage your calendar, and streamline your workflow. Let's get started and make the most of your time.
And indeed, it does sound like me. It's a bit strange to hear my own voice spoken by the AI. The quality is impressively close to the original, though sometimes you might notice minor differences or a slightly robotic undertone on certain words. You can refine it by providing a longer or clearer sample if needed. Remember, only clone voices that you have the rights to or permission for. Cloning your own voice is fine, but cloning someone else's voice without consent could be unethical or against terms. ElevenLabs actually has safeguards and a policy for voice cloning usage. So with voice cloning, you can now have the AI read any text in your own voice. This opens up a lot of possibilities. For example, you could have it narrate a script in your voice without recording everything yourself. Very powerful feature. Voice changer transforms one voice into another. To find the voice changer, look at the left menu and click voice changer. The interface has two main parts. One for the original audio input and one for selecting the target voice, the voice you want to change it to. You'll see options to upload an audio file or record something live. Let's try a simple example. I'll use the record option to create a short clip of me talking, and then we'll transform it into a different voice. Say I want to hear what I would sound like as a Roger. I click record and make a short sample. Here's how to upload a video to YouTube in under a minute. First, go to YouTube and make sure you're signed in. I stop the recording. Now I have an input clip of my voice. Next, I choose a target voice. There's a drop-down that shows all the voices available, including the pre-made voices and any custom voices I've created. I'm going to choose a voice that's very different from mine so the change is obvious. For example, I'll pick Roger as the target. With the original audio recorded and the target voice selected, I click the Generate Speech button for the voice changer. Now, ElevenLabs will process my recording and resynthesize it to sound like the target voice is saying the same words. A new audio clip appears as the output. Let's play it.
Here is how to upload a video onto YouTube in under a minute. First, go to YouTube and make sure you're signed in.
Instead of my voice, we now hear a male voice of Roger. It kept exactly what I said and how I said it, but swapped it in a different voice timbre. It's like voice swapping magic. That's the voice changer in action. You can use any audio as input. For example, you could upload a recording of a famous speech and have a different character voice speak it. Or more practically, if you're a video creator who recorded yourself but now want it in a different voice or accent, you can do that without re-recording everything. On the output, you can also download the converted audio. Look for a download icon next to the results to save it if you plan to use it. A couple of tips. The better the quality of your input audio, the better the results. Try to use clear audio without background noise. Also, the content of the speech matters. Voice changer works best on spoken words, not really on singing. If the input has multiple people talking, you'd want to split that up and do one voice at a time, since you can only choose one target voice per conversion. All right, now let's switch gears and explore the AI sound effects generator. Sound effects generation. To access it, click Sound Effects in the left menu. The sound effects interface is straightforward. You have a text box where you describe the sound you want, and then you hit Generate. The AI will produce a short audio clip matching your description. They even mention you can create instrumental music snippets, ambient sounds, or character vocalization. Pretty much anything audio. Let's try an example. Suppose I want a sound effect of flipping through pages for a project. I type in that description and click the generate button. After a short wait, we get a result. Let's play it back. We hear the gentle rustling of paper, like someone flipping through pages. That's exactly what I was going for. If it wasn't quite right, I could tweak the prompt, maybe add audiobook or fast flipping to make it more specific. You've got a lot of flexibility to refine a description and generate again. All AI-generated sound effects from ElevenLabs are royalty-free, meaning you can use them in your videos, games, or any project without worrying about copyright. That's super useful. Let's do one more fun example. I'll generate something quirky. How about pouring water into a pot? We hear the sound of water gently pouring into a metal pot. It's surprisingly realistic. The possibilities here are endless. Crowds cheering, laser gun sounds, animal noises, you name it. Also, if you don't know exactly what you want, ElevenLabs has an Explore section for sound effects with categories and examples where you can discover and even share sound effects with the community. So that's the sound effects generator, a handy tool for creatives needing quick sounds. Now let's move on to Studio, which is where ElevenLabs handles longer audio projects like audiobooks or podcasts. Studio, creating audiobooks and long-form narration. ElevenLabs Studio, formerly sometimes called Projects, is the area designed for generating longer format audio, such as entire audiobooks, multi-character scripts, or podcast episodes. It provides tools to manage long text, assign voices to different parts, and generate the audio in sections so you can review it and edit. Click Studio in the left-hand menu to open it. At the top, we see options like Start from Scratch, Create an Audiobook, Create an Article, and Create a Podcast. For this tutorial, let's create an audiobook. If you choose Create an Audiobook, it will ask you to upload your documents. You can upload an ebook file like EPUB or PDF, or maybe a Word document with the story. Once you upload, ElevenLabs will parse it and detect the structure: chapters, paragraphs, dialogues. After uploading, you can see an assigned default voice like Roger, assigned to a male voice automatically. You can usually customize this if you want. For instance, if you don't like a chosen voice, you can click on it and select a different voice from your library for that character. Now, here's the magic: auto-assigned voices. If your text has multiple characters speaking, for example, dialogue in a novel or a script with different roles, ElevenLabs can automatically assign different voices to each character. It uses AI to figure out if lines are spoken by different people, often based on quotation marks and speaker labels if present. Okay, let's actually try that and click on Create. Now, as you can see, it picked distinct voices from available voices for each character. So you instantly get a full cast audiobook without manually selecting voices for every line. How cool is that? You can also click on Override Settings on the top right, and you can adjust settings like volume, speed, stability, similarity, and style exaggeration. Also, if you would like to play just a certain section, click on the lower left button that says Until End, and you can play just a certain text or part selection. Here at the top, you also have some other settings. With the pronunciation editor, ElevenLabs Studio lets you fine-tune pronunciation by specifying phonetic spellings or pronunciations for tricky words, like names or acronyms. But that's more advanced and for later. With the Direct Speech with Your Voice button, you can also manually insert different speakers and choose voices. The Studio editor will add a voice tag or select a voice for specific paragraphs. It's as simple as selecting some text and assigning a voice. Once your text is set up and voices are assigned, you can hit the Generate button. If you want to add a chapter, click on the plus chapter in the top left corner. The AI will then go through and synthesize the entire script piece by piece. For a long text, this could take some time. The Studio might show you progress as it generates each section or page. And just like that, you have an audiobook ready to go. This is incredible for authors or content creators who want to produce audiobooks or long narration without hiring multiple voice actors. The auto voice assign gives different characters distinct voices, making the listening experience much richer. All right, we've covered a lot on the creation side. Now, let's look at a feature that's super useful for content creators wanting to reach a larger audience: automated dubbing. Automated dubbing: translate and dub videos into other languages. Let me ask you a question. Have you ever wanted to translate one of your videos into another language and have it spoken in that language? Well, ElevenLabs has a feature for that called dubbing. It can take a video or audio in one language, transcribe it, translate it, and then generate a new audio track in a target language. To use it, click Dubbing in the left-hand menu. Then, simply click Create a Dub. The dubbing tool will ask you for a few things. First, project name, just a label for your own reference. Next, you need to select the source language, the language that the video is originally in, and the target language you want to dub into. The source is likely auto-detected when you paste a link, but it's good to confirm. You can actually choose multiple target languages if you plan to generate several versions. Number 3, audio or video source. This is the input content you want to dub. Now, you have a few options here: a YouTube video, TikTok, auto URL, linked to a direct media file or another site, if this is supported, and manual upload. There's also a setting for number of speakers. This is where you tell the AI how many different people are speaking in your video. There's also an option for time range to dub. After filling those in, you're ready to start the dubbing process. Click the Create Dub button. Now, ElevenLabs will get to work. What's happening behind the scenes is a few steps. First, it will download and transcribe the original audio, turning the speech in your video into text. Next, it will translate that text into the targeted language you selected. Then, it will use text-to-speech in the target language to synthesize new audio for your video. If you indicated multiple speakers, it will try to use different voices for each speaker to keep the dialogue distinct. For example, speaker 1 might get a male German voice, and speaker 2 a female German voice, and etc. So this basically helps you mimic the original speaker differences. This can take a little time, especially if the video is long. You might see a progress bar that says downloading, then translating. Once it's done, your dub project will be ready. You should see it listed in the dubbing interface with options to play or download the results.
Der intelligente Investor von Benjamin Graham ist das Fundament des langfristigen, rationalen Investierens.
Now we hear the content in German, with the voices speaking in German. It's pretty amazing to hear your original video essentially cloned into a new language. If multiple speakers were present, you'd hear 2 different German voices corresponding to the original people. But you can also adjust them if needed in some advanced settings. All right, we've translated our video. Now for something interactive. Let's create a conversational AI. Basically, your own voice assistant or character that you can talk to in real time. Conversational AI, creating a voice agent. Click Conversational AI in the left menu underneath Dubbing. On the Conversational AI page, you'll see a dashboard with any agents you have. If none exist, it will prompt you to create a new agent. For agents, you can choose from the support agent, mindfulness coach, sales agents, and even a video game character. Let's create one for the video game character. Look for a Create Agent button at the lower left part. Now we'll fill in the details for our AI agents. Agent language. Let's choose English. Additional languages, if you would like to speak more than one language. First message. The first message the agent will say. System prompt. This is the agent description/persona. Here, you describe who the agent is and how it should behave. This is essentially the personality or role. If it were a character like a video game NPC, I might describe their backstory and style of speaking. This description will be used as a prompt for the AI's language model so it knows how to respond. Language model settings. This part may vary, but often you can choose which AI model will generate the agent's responses. There might also be a creativity slider or setting to decide if the agent should be very factual or it could be more creative in responses. For a support agent, I'd lean towards accurate and helpful. For a casual chatbot, you might allow more creativity. If you're not sure what to pick, the default model and settings will usually work fine. The key is that your description is clear so the agent knows what to do. Some advanced options might include enabling a knowledge base. If you want to upload specific data or frequently asked questions, the agent should know. Or integration details like phone or API access. Those are more advanced use cases, so we'll skip those for now. Now, with the agent configured, let's save it and give it a try. Click on Save. Our agent is now created and running. ElevenLabs lets you actually speak to it live using your microphone. A microphone icon lights up indicating listening. I click on Call AI Agents and speak to it directly.
Hey, so I have a question about ElevenLabs about how to use the voice clone feature.
Building your own AI agent can be a lot of fun, and it's also practical. People use this for things like a game character that you can speak to, or setting up a hotline where customers talk to an AI. Keep in mind, using the agent consumes your credits because it's doing speech to text and text to speech each time. The free plan gives you about 15 minutes of agent conversation per month, which is plenty to experiment and test. For heavier use, you'd move to a business plan, which is charged by minutes. But for most small-scale users or just for learning, the free and starter plan should be enough. Well, that covers conversational AI. We've now generated voices, changed voices, dubbed videos, and spoken with AI. The final feature to explore is speech to text. Basically, the flip side of text to speech. Speech to text, transcribing audio to text. The speech to text tool in ElevenLabs lets you transcribe audio files into written text. This is super handy for turning meetings, interviews, voice memos, or even videos into readable text. It's like having a built-in transcription service. To access it, click Speech to Text in the menu and click on Transcribe Files. The interface is very simple. An upload button, or you can also drag and drop an audio file. There's also a language selection if your audio is not in English, so the system knows what language to expect. Let's try the same clip we have for the Harry Potter Oliver imitation. I want to transcribe it. I click Upload and select the file from my computer. Once the file is uploaded, it will start the transcription process. Now, ElevenLabs will run its speech recognition, ASR, on the audio. The speed depends on the length of the audio. It's usually quite fast, often real time or faster. For a 1-minute clip, it might take around 10 to 20 seconds. As it transcribes, you can see a live update and then a pop-up with the results when finished. Once done, click on it and you'll see the transcribed text displayed on the screen. There's our transcription. Now you can copy this text out of ElevenLabs or download it. Speech to text is great for quickly getting transcripts without having to type everything yourself. You could transcribe a podcast to create a blog post out of it, or transcribe a voice memo to turn it into written notes. It's quite accurate thanks to ElevenLabs fine-tuned models. And that's the speech to text tool. Simple, but effective. All right, so we've now covered all the major features of ElevenLabs in this step-by-step walkthrough. If you're ready to try ElevenLabs and start creating your own AI voices, hit the link in the description to sign up for free. It helps support the channel, and it's the best way to get started with everything we've covered today. Thank you so much for watching.